Hi, my name is Chris Nelson, and thank you for joining our National Karate Online e-learning program. And in today's segment, we're going to talk about predator lures. And I've got here the top 5 lures as identified by the FBI. And let me just explain to the kids what a lure is. So, predator is someone who's going to try to abduct a child or abuse a child. They're not nice people, but they're going to pretend that they're nice. So that's the hard part is our kids need to learn some discernment, right? And as parents, we want to try to teach our kids that you just have to kind of be wary. It's sad, but we have to kind of be not really trusting of everybody, and we just need to be able to ask our parents if it's okay to go with a person, and we just want to educate our kids of what these lures are. So kids, when you think about a lure, a lot of times you think about a fishing lure, right? So if you were fishing, you would put something shiny on the end of your line, and you bring it through the water, and when you're fishing, you hope that the fish sees that shiny, cool lure and wants to go and bite it. Well, what a predator does, what a bad person does, is try to give you a lure, something that would bring you close enough so that I could grab you, something that would make you trust me enough so that you will go with me. A lot of times they'll try to get you into a car, they'll try to get you into a house. So we just have to be really wary about this. So before I get into any of this, what I want kids to understand is that it's okay to say no to other adults, right? So a lot of children and youth and teenagers feel like, well, if an authority figure, policeman or a teacher or a school coach or my next door neighbor or my uncle tell me to do something, I have to do it. But the answer is you don't have to, right? You have to do what your parents tell you to do. But if someone asks you to do something, no matter who they are, and you don't think it sounds right or you're a little nervous about it, it's okay to say no, let me ask my parents first. And that's really just a good answer. And anytime an adult asks you to do something, it's a good response to teach our kids to say, no, I just want to talk to my parents first, right? And that would tell a predator, oh, this is a person who talks to their parent, so that sometimes makes them back off. And it also gives your child an out. It just gives them a way to say no when they're not sure if they should say no or yes. So let's go through these. So the first lure is called the helpless lure, and that's where a predator pretends that they need help. And when you think of predators, we think of, we're talking about, in this instance, we're talking about predators who are after children, but there are also predators that go after adults. We think of the person who used the helpless lure most famously was a serial killer named Ted Bundy, and he would use that to women. He would have a van, and he would go up to women and say, hey, he'd pretend he was handicapped sometimes, and he'd need help to get into his van. Sometimes he would pretend to be carrying a box that looked too heavy and ask a woman if, walking by in the parking lot, if she'd help him. And when they get close to the car, he'd hit him over the head and throw him in the van. So we've got to be careful for that, right? Just because someone seems nice, and they say Ted Bundy was like really charming and charismatic, and he would win trust with people. Again, just because someone seems like they're trustworthy doesn't mean that they are trustworthy. So we have to watch out for the helpless lure. A lot of ways that's used with children. Again, what the FBI tell us, what police tell us, is a person would pull up in a car and say, hey, I lost my puppy. Have you seen this picture of my puppy? And would you help me find my puppy? And sometimes it'll be, get in the car, let's go looking for my puppy. And kids are like, oh yeah, I'd love to help you find that. Or sometimes it's even, come look at this picture, and they get close enough, and then they would grab them from there. So again, it's just a way to use that child's desire to be helpful against them. So again, we have to be careful about that. The next one is the promise lure, and that's the one that you always think of. Well, I'll give you candy if you get in the car with me, or I'll give you some money. That's the one that people kind of think of a lot as a lure. The gift-giving lure sounds the same, but it's actually different. The gift-giving lure is like that, but it's usually one that's developed over time to build trust. So this could be a friend, family friend. It could be a neighbor. It could be, but someone who would give gifts to develop trust over a period of time, and again, a lot of predators are very patient. They'll wait a long time. They'll set the stage for the right moment. But the first step that predators always look for is to try to build trust with kids, all right? So, you know, one thing that we need to know with kids, if someone's giving you a gift, you know, you should always tell your parents, right? If someone is giving you money or candy, you should just let us know. It doesn't mean it's always a bad thing, right? But you just should let us know and let us kind of maybe talk through that, right? So that's the gift-giving lure. The messenger lure is one where, for instance, a child would be waiting at the front of their school for their parents to pick them up, and a stranger pulls up and says, you know, your mom was in a car accident and she was on her way to pick you up, and she asked me if I would come pick you up from school, and we're going to go to the hospital, so get in. And again, just that story throws kids, right? Even teenagers, it throws people. Again, kids want to be trusting, and when they hear something happen to their parent, you know, they're fearful, and it just catches them off guard. So that's the messenger lure. And the last one we're going to do is the info lure. And the info lure would be that the predator has information about your family. So they come up and say, hey, your mom, and they would say your mom's name. And I know you live over on this street, and you know, I know your sister's name is, and your brother's name, and all of that, again, to build trust. And the way to get that information a lot of times is by stalking you on the internet. Sometimes the predators would actually go through your trash. So again, however they got the information doesn't matter, but they're trying to use that information to gain trust and to let the child think, oh, this is someone, my parents must know them, right? Because they know all the names of all of our family, and they're trustworthy. So again, these are all the lures. Well, these are the top 5 lures. There's more. This is all that we're going to go through today. What I would do, parents, is go through and just talk about different scenarios, do some role playing. The best thing that parents can do with kids for predator protection is to just do some back and forth and do some role playing. So, you know, if I came up to you, Hope, and said, hey, I lost my dog. Would you help me find my dog? What do you say? What do you say to that?
No.
You say no. And remember, the easy thing to say is, let me go ask my mom first. All right. So let's try the info lure. Say, hey, you know, I know your mom's name. I know your brother's name, and I'm wondering if you can come with me. They asked me to. What do you think? Can you come?
Let me ask my mom.
Yeah, let me ask my mom first. And so we just practice that and get them used to that again. And just telling your kids isn't usually enough. We have to practice it. And again, not just one time, you know, it's got to be a repetitive thing. And then every month kind of review that. Do some role playing. And the last one I'm going to leave us with is just a self-defense. If it ever gets to the point where they can grab you, you know, that's what we're really good at, is getting away from things and defending. So let me move this back just a little bit. And what we're going to do is imagine I'm trying to grab you, okay? Whether I'm grabbing your shirt or grabbing your shoulders or whatever. And you're going to do the double block, okay? And then you want to hurt me so I can't keep grabbing you. And then you're going to do the front kick. So let's try that together. So make an X. Actually, let's face this way. And we're going to do a double block, loud yell, ready? Ah! And then we're going to do a front kick, loud yell, ready? Ah! Good job. All right, now face this way. All right, so pretend I'm the stranger. And again, this is parents, something that you can role play at home too. All right, so as soon as I grab you, you're gonna quick block. Ready, go, block. Gotcha, too late. Ready, go. Good, and kick. Good one. And then you're gonna run. All right, good, let's try that again. All right, ready, block. And kick, and run. All right, let's do one more time. Ready, block, kick, run. All right, good job. Well, thank you for joining us. Come here. I'm going to bow out. All right, go ahead, and if you want to watch that video another time just to get all the information, great. Do some role playing, practice the self-defense, and we'll see you for the next segment. Bye-bye.